Hi, cat. Come and get some mango, baby.
One, two, 1, 2, 3. Self-awareness is a superpower. My name is KathyLaDonna. Welcome to Soul and Vibration. I hope the free thinkers are doing well. And if you're not doing well, I'm happy to remind you that you are the most powerful person that you know. You are the most powerful person that you know because only you can create your reality. Hey guys, today is Tuesday, April 23rd, and the energies in the day adds up or reduce to number 8 vibration. If today is your birthday, happy birthday. So today is the full moon in Scorpio energy. Hopefully you've already seen the full moon in Scorpio video. The spirit animal that we're working with today is the otter. And I feel like the otter energy coming out with this full moon in Scorpio energy is just so fitting. The minute I see the otter energy, the first thing that I'm thinking about is like getting one's hands dirty. Getting your hands dirty, meaning, when I say get one's hands dirty, I don't mean commit crime or doing anything nefarious. I mean, getting down and having to do the hard stuff. Like I think of like, say, whenever we're trying to achieve certain goals, you know, there's certain points in our careers that we might have to get our hands dirty. Like say, for example, I think of like, say if a person's an electrician and at the early start within their electrical career, they might have to dig holes and things like that, you know, because they're working for a company and you just got to do what the boss says. But as you mature along your journey, you know, you could be more selective. As you mature along your journey, get your licenses, you could be more selective when it comes to what it is that you're willing to do. I think of like, say, me working in the salon. And in the beginning, you know, I started out braiding because, you know, I started out braiding my own hair. So there were times when I did braids, but after a while I didn't want to do braids anymore. But in the beginning, you know, thinking of like, say in the beginning when I'm building a clientele, a client might come in for braids and I'll do braids because I'm building a clientele or I just need the money at the moment. So someone walks into the salon, they ask for braids, they want some cornrows, they want some singles or whatever. And I'll take that client because it's better for me to take that than to do absolutely nothing at all. But then once I'm established, I'm going to refuse certain kind of services because I'm established. I don't have to do that anymore. So when I see the otter energy, that's what's coming up when I say get one's hands dirty, meaning you might have to make up your mind to do certain things that you would rather not do, but you know, you got to do it for now until you get to a more secure space. So when I think of like, say the energies in today, you know, the energies in today adds up and reduces to number 8 vibration. And the number 8 is ruled by Saturn. And Saturn is a serious and structured energy. But the number 8 also is a focus and discipline type of energy. So this is where we're called to be focused and disciplined about something. But before we could even get to the point of being focused and disciplined about anything, something needs to be released. And with the full moon in Scorpio, when it comes to something being released, something definitely needs to be released when it comes to our psychology. But before we could even release anything about our psychology, we first need to go look at our values, the things that we value and why we value the things that we value. So I think of someone growing up in, say, a household where, you know, the people in the household valued having nice things and valued dressing a certain way, presenting themselves a certain way. And from valuing those things, you know, a person may develop the psychology that feels like they need to go and work hard in order to have these things so that they could present themselves amongst their peers a certain way. So this psychology or this way of thinking can cause, or I'll bring up my favorite examples when it comes to things like this. My favorite examples when it comes to things like this is having either Capricorn or Taurus on the 10th house or on the first house axis, Capricorn or Taurus. And we're focusing just on those energies and nothing else. Whenever Capricorn or Taurus are on that axis, those energies feel a sense of responsibility to have certain things to the point that they could find themselves in major debt trying to keep up with this lifestyle. And Taurus will feel like it's my birthright. I should have all these nice things. You know, I'm the king, I'm the queen. I should have these things to the point of hoarding. And then for Capricorn, it's a matter of, you know, at this age and success looks like this. So I need to look like this, even if it means that I'm going to go into debt doing so. So when we value a certain mindset, our psychology is set up to support that value. So say with the example I gave with the Taurus and the Capricorn axis, when we have that kind of value, our psychology, you know, our mindset, the way we think is going to come up with ways how to get us the thing that we value. So this is where we have to step back and look at how, you know, these values have been destructive in our lives. Because of these values, we feel like we're constantly underwater and we could barely catch our breath. Because of these values, some people feel like, you know, they live at their workplace trying to keep up with these bills, trying to keep up with these credit cards, or trying to keep up so that they could flex and travel all the time. Not always because, oh, I just love traveling, but, you know, it makes me look good amongst my peers, or it makes me look a certain way to have these things. So it's like when we step back and realize how a value doesn't value us, or it needs to be looked at or organized in a certain way, this is where we could address our psychology so that we no longer continue to keep up a value that's actually problematic in our lives. So with the full moon in Scorpio, something has to come to an end when it comes to that. There's something, you know, about our psychology that's supporting bad behavior. So that comes to an end. So I think of the person that finally realized that, like, I need to not care what other people think about me. And from me not caring about what other people think about me and focusing in on my goals, you know, you're able to be more minimalistic. You're able to budget yourself because you know it's not forever. You know, the budget is not forever. You making sacrifices is not forever. There's an end goal. But even when you get to the end goal, you're not going to start all over again. It's like someone going on a diet, and when they achieve their weight loss goal, they go back to the way that they used to eat. Like, that's silly. That makes no sense. That means you're going to end up where you end up before. That caused you to go on the diet in the first place. So to me, with this energy, it's like, you know, something comes to an end when it comes to a psychology that we hold around something that we were valuing that needs to go so that we could have more peace and balance in our lives. And once that thing goes to an end, like, we have to become aware of why it needs to stay that way. So this is where instead of dieting, we need to come up with a lifestyle that fits us, a lifestyle that fits our body type. You know, when it comes to one's financial situation, it's like, what is best to fit you and get you to the goal? You know, what does your ideal lifestyle look like, and what is required to keep that up? Because a lot of us will be surprised that we don't want the same things. Everybody don't want to live in a big ass house, a big ass empty house all by themselves to flex. Some people want to live in a big house, you know, a huge house. When I say a big house, I'm thinking someone aspiring to a mansion. Some people might want to because they grew up in a big house and they feel nurtured being in that kind of an environment. You know, everybody don't want the same things, but a lot of us find ourselves wanting things that we don't even want, don't even know where we came about starting to want that thing. And I feel like this energy helps to bring our attention to that. And when it comes to the tarot, we have the Hierophant energy in the upright position. So with the Hierophant energy in the upright position, this brings me to the, this deals with the number 5. So there's a sudden and unexpected change. So I feel like, when it comes to the energies in today, there's a sudden and unexpected change that happens, very similar to the day being the 25th, 2 plus 5, 2 plus 3 is 5. So there is some sudden and unexpected event that is present, some sudden and unexpected event that happens. And it may feel like this ending or whatever ending that we might be dealing with, and the ending might not happen today. It might be tomorrow that we see the ending. But there's a sudden and unexpected event that happens that kind of merges us into something else. So to me, I think of like the saying, as one door closed, another one opens type of vibe. And with the energies in the day adding up to the number 8 vibration, the number 8 brings me to the end of a cycle. Not like the number 9 where it's like, okay, we're at the very end of the cycle entering into new territory. With today's energy, this is where we're like, okay, am I going to take this to the next level, or am I done completely? So when it comes to today's energy, a lot of us might find that we're reflecting on our finances. What can I do to make my finances better? For someone, maybe finally coming to the realization that something needs to happen, like they need a better payback plan when it comes to the debt that they're in. For someone else, it might be that they need another job in order to help to create the peace of mind that they need right now. When I got to the otter energy, I said something about one getting their hands dirty. To me, like I said, getting one's hands dirty might mean that someone has to take a step back in order to launch forward. The thought brought me to me being in the salon and building a clientele. And in the moment, I need money today, so I might do some braids, even though I don't do braids. There are some things that I just won't do when I was in the salon, no matter what. And to each his own, but one of the things that I would never do would be the lace fronts. Not that there's anything wrong with people wearing them, but I would never glue someone's edges down. Because for me, it's like, I don't know why I felt like saying that. For me, it's like working backwards. If I'm going to be your stylist, I'm not going to help you to rip your edges out, because then you're going to come back to me to ask me how to get them back or how to fix them. So it's like, I didn't believe, there are certain things that I would never do, but then there are certain things that I would do temporarily in order to get to wherever it is that I need to go. So for someone else, that might be the same thing. Like for me with the whole lace front situation, that was more of like an integrity thing where I didn't believe that gluing someone's edges down. And of course, I know there are products and things that could help a person to remove it without ripping edges out. But you have some clients that are impatient. You will if you glue their edges down, they might be impatient and rip it off. And it's like, or even some might not even intend to. It's like the glue is like, stuck to the hair, and they might itch their hair real rough, or something happens and it rips out. So I don't know why. Well, I know why I got that image in mind, why I even said that. I say that because you might have to get your hands dirty, but you never want to get your hands dirty in a way that, meaning like, something affects your integrity. But when I say get your hands dirty, like I mentioned, you might have to do something that you don't really want. It's something that you may have feel to a certain extent is beneath you, or not something that you would want to continue to have to do, but you have to do it in the meantime to get by. So with this full moon energy, this is where someone comes to the realization, okay, I need to change my situation. So I'm going to need to go get that job, that part-time job, in order to balance things out for a little bit. I'm going to need to volunteer and get the experience that I need to step into the position that I want to step into. So when I think of the energies in today, some of us come to the realization that we got to make certain changes, or we got to do certain things to get to our end goal, but it's only temporary. It's only temporary. But with the moon today in Scorpio, and I already touched on the astrology in the full moon video, the moon, the inner world, is in a place where it doesn't feel that great, because there's a T-square being made to the moon. So So the T-square being made to the moon, this is where some of us could find ourselves feeling like if something makes you feel insignificant, not enough, useless, worthless, or whatever, today you feel it. It's like what I mentioned with, say, yesterday's energy, where it's like something created a cut the day before, and then now the tenderness of the wound just really like it aches. So today's energy brings me to that. There is this tenderness of a wound that really aches, but I feel like you're realizing how to end a cycle. It's like a person deciding that this cycle has to come to an end. And today's the day where you come to that realization. But I get the feeling as one door closes, another opens. So even though it's full moon energy, you know, as you say goodbye to something else, another opportunity presents itself right in front of you. Such a pleasure sharing this message with you. Hey guys, I want to share with you 7 benefits of getting a numerology natal chart awareness coaching session. The first one is understanding your internal programming. The second one is becoming more clear about your purpose and passion. The third is setting goals for success. The fourth is awareness of strength and areas of improvement. And the fourth one was foundational for me because whenever you're aware of your weaknesses, no one can use them against you. And when you're aware of your strengths, that makes you unstoppable. And that is why I say self-awareness is a superpower. The fifth benefit is removing obstacles. We first have to become aware of a thing in order to remove it in the first place. The sixth benefit is understanding relationship dynamics. We don't have to change the people in our lives. We have to become aware of ourselves and start from there, and everything changes. And the seventh benefit is upcoming transits, if that's something that you would like to look into because you're planning for something or you just want to be aware. So if you're interested in booking a numerology natal chart awareness coaching session or learning more about it, the link to book or the link to send me an email for questions are both within the description box below. If you'd like to check out my Patreon, where I share exclusive content, and also to become a part of the meetup group, which is my favorite thing on Patreon, the link to check out what's happening on Patreon is in the description box below. Please let me know you're here with me by dropping me a pink heart in the comment box below. I would love to hear from you and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.